Dear students, I welcome you all to this session. This session is based on the lesson The Outcast from the textbook Zeitgeist. It is prescribed for the common course in English for the second semester UG students of Calicut University. It appears in the fourth module of the textbook. As you know, the fourth module is on human rights. This lesson is an extract from the autobiographical work, The Outcaste, which is the English translation of the well-known Marathi Dalit writer Sharan Kumar Limbale's work, Akarmashi. Akarmashi was written in Marathi. So let's begin with a question on the relevance of Dalit literature. To come to that, let's have some thoughts on the aspect of caste. Dear students, do you think that caste has a say in the present day society? Is caste an important factor or a strong element in the Kerala society, which is famous for its progress and literacy? If your answer is no, then I have to say I disagree with you. I am afraid that you are wrong, because even a casual look at the matrimonial classifieds of the newspapers assert the strong hold of caste in our so-called progressive Kerala society. This is the reality of caste even in the 21st century. In this context, let's recall Dr. Ambedkar's words. Ambedkar, who is the architect of Indian Constitution, was a great champion of Dalit cause. Ambedkar has rightly said, I quote, "Caste is the monster that crosses your path. You cannot have political reform. You cannot have economic reform unless you kill this monster." Unquote. Herein lies the significance of Dalit literature for the achievement of the daunting task of caste annihilation is one of the primary objectives of Dalit literature. Dalit literature, which had its inception in the latter half of the 20th century, has now developed to attain a unique place of its own. Bearing the traits of trauma literature and protest literature, Dalit literature is the site which registers the agony, the pain, sufferings and the protest of the oppressed caste. Dalit literature sprawls over different generic divisions like poetry, novel, short story and autobiography. Some of the prominent names in this field are Om Prakash Valmiki, Sharan Kumar Limbale, Urmila Pawar, Kalyan Rao, Bama, C. Ayyappan, to name only a few. Valmiki's Judan, Limbale's Akarmashi, Kalyan Rao's The Untouchable Spring and Bama's Karukku are some of the seminal works in the contemporary Dalit literature. Coming to Sharan Kumar Limbale, Limbale is one of the prominent writers in Marathi literature. Akarmashi, his autobiography, is regarded as one of the path-breaking works in Dalit literature. Here, the writer presents not his traumatic history alone, but that of his community in general. Akarmashi, written in 1984 in Marathi, was translated into English as The Outcast by Nashik Santosh Phumkar in 2003. You see, Dalit writings are different from the mainstream writings in many ways. The very language, idiom, images and symbols in Dalit writings spring from experiences instead of mere observations on life. In Dalit autobiographies, the experiences narrated by the narrator stand for the experiences of the community in general. Along with the story of the narrator, the story of the community unfolds in Dalit autobiographies. So, Like other Dalit autobiographies, Limbale's autobiography too portrays the sufferings, agony and rejection faced by the protagonist and his community due to their lower caste status. All their sufferings ensue from the evils of caste system. The treatment meted out to them is no better than the one given to animals, or many a times even worse than that. Limbale in his autobiography narrates his painful experiences as an outcast right from his childhood to the point of being an adult. The given extract narrates his experiences at school. The agony of discrimination felt by the young boy Sharan, who belonged to the Mahar community, is vividly narrated in a very poignant manner. The extract is about food and hunger. Hunger and food are important symbols in Dalit autobiographies because the primary struggle of the Dalits is for survival, is to keep their body and soul together. Earlier I had made a mention of Om Prakash Valmiki. Om Prakash Valmiki is an important writer in Hindi literature. Here it is relevant to note that the title of Om Prakash Valmiki's autobiography is Jutan. Jutan means leftover food. The upper caste gave their food to the Dalits by throwing food at them from a distance. The upper caste did so for fear of pollution. It is a common practice among the Dalits to collect this food to satisfy their hunger. Limbale too in his autobiography talks about food and hunger in many places. He says his stomach is like a graveyard. His mother said that Limbale's stomach is Akkalkot. Akkalkot is a town in Solapur in Maharashtra. There seemed to be a gizzard in his stomach. Limbale says that he always felt unfed or half-fed because his family never had enough food to satisfy his burning hunger. This was the case of all Dalit families. Now we will come to the extract proper. One day, Limbale and his friends are taken out for a picnic by the teachers. But the Mahar children were not pre-informed about the picnic. So they have to run back from school to their homes to collect jowar bakri and chutney. Bakri is unleavened bread. Jowar is a cereal. So jowar bakri is unleavened bread made from jowar. Meanwhile, Bivara Pai, a Mahar woman, comes to take away Pashya, her son, from the rows of boys and girls to take food for his father who had gone out for work. All the boys and girls moved in a row with their teachers. All of them are happy. On the way they see Harya, another lower caste boy, sitting on a buffalo. To support the family, instead of sending him to school, Harya's father had put him to work in Girmalia's farm. His work was to graze cattle. For his work, he got food and 100 rupees a year. Harya looked restless at the sight of happy children going for picnic. Finally, the children and the teachers reached the destination. The children start to play. The tough boys climb the trees. The other boys and girls ran all over the places. The narrator stood watching all these things from a distance. The sensitive young narrator sees how caste differences prevent children from playing together. The Vani and Brahmin boys played kabaddi. The Mahar boys could not join them because playing kabaddi involved touching the body, and the lower caste children were not allowed to touch the body of the high caste. The lower caste were considered as untouchables, you remember. So Mahar children played touch and go. After the play, they settled down to eat. The teachers sat in a circle with the high caste boys and girls under a tree. They were sitting under a banyan tree. The Mahar boys and girls were asked to sit under another tree at a distance. They sat under a tree, a withered tree with a lot of tattered leaves, just like the body and mind of the lower caste children. They were watching the high caste children and teachers from a distance. The teachers and children, they were eating together. The high caste girls sat with the teachers, they were chatting. The mental state of the lower caste children, it is very vividly portrayed by Limpale. He says, I quote, "We sat like owls watching them," unquote. The children looked glum, dejected and unhappy like the owls. The high caste children offered their food to the teachers. The young narrator wondered what would happen if he offered his chutney to the teachers. Finally, after they had finished their food, the high caste children gave their leftover food to the Mahar boys and girls. The Mahar children very greedily ate them. Back home, the narrator tells the whole thing to his mother, but he is sorely rebuked by his mother for not bringing home the leftovers for the rest of the family to taste. She said that the leftover food is nectar. Nectar means honey. Another meaning of nectar is food of gods. You can just imagine the helplessness and the abject poverty that made Limpale's mother make such a comment. The burning hunger that made the lower caste consider even leftover food as nectar. His mother's words made Gimalia's farm quiver in the narrator's stomach. He had eaten the leftover food sitting in Gimalia's farm. The young boy Sharan is deeply pained and shocked to hear his mother's words. It once again reminded him of his pathetic situation. On the next day at school, the teacher asked the students to write an essay about the picnic. While the narrator sat thinking what to write, the teacher grew angry with him and shouted at him, uttering bad words. Little did the teacher know about the predicament of the young boy. The picnic for him was not a pleasant experience. He kept thinking how they had sat in a circle under a tree for eating. He remembered the hands of the high caste boys and girls offering them the leftover food, the withered tree under which they sat, the scolding of his mother regarding the leftovers, and the teacher calling him the son of a bitch and a beef eater. His mind was a battlefield. He had no clue regarding the thing to do. Young Limpale's predicament pertaining the writing of the essay the teacher had asked for, it is indicative or it symbolizes the dilemma that Dalit writer faced in the early phases of Dalit literature. Now, Dalit literature has come of age thanks to the veteran writers who candidly pour out the reality of their experiences. Thank you.